don't play those, whether you're forward or back. It's a pull drive from Atherton. McLean's out there. He's come a lot squarer. They get two more, and England's 50 comes up. The 9th time Stewart and Atherton have posted a 50 partnership, and I doubt there's been a more important one.
Well, a wonderful start England have made. Atherton and Stewart play with just the right blend of discipline and aggression, and they've ensured that England have a chance of levelling the series tomorrow. And that's what England will be sleeping on tonight. 173 more to win, with all their wickets still intact.
They've had rain. First on BBC One, the best of an exciting day's play in the third test, introduced by Jonathan Agnew.
The sound of calypso filled the Queen's Park Oval yesterday as Trinidad's #1 singer, Marcel Montano, performed in front of the Trini posse. They were hoping to inspire Trinidad's #1 cricketer, but Brian Lara's innings was cut short by Angus Fraser, and the West Indies were bowled out for 210. Today the mood in the ground will be very different as England's #1 and his fellow batsmen hope to become the heroes and keep the Test series alive. Hello and welcome to what might very well prove to be the most crucial day of the whole Test series. That might sound a bit dramatic, but England really can't afford to lose the match today. I think they'll find it very hard indeed to come back from a position of 2-0 down. Well, they're given the best possible start in the final hour of yesterday. Atherton and Stewart batting under real pressure to put on 52 runs without losing a wicket, and that means that England have to score 173 more today, and they've got all their wickets still intact. Well, it sounds easy enough, doesn't it? But bear in mind that in order to win today, England not only have to score the highest total of the match, but in fact the highest score they've ever made in any Test match to beat the West Indies. Well, we're on the 4th morning of this game. 30 wickets have already fallen so far, and to find out what England's batsmen can expect today, let's join Michael Holding, who's pitch side.
Looking at the surface of this pitch over the last 3 days, you could not really detect a reason why so many wickets have fallen. But looking on it on the 4th day, you can definitely see there's a fair amount of disintegration here. It has certainly deteriorated quite a bit. We're seeing the cracks opening up. This part is fairly firm though, not moving around. But if you look at the other areas, you'll see quite a few cracks that are quite loose in between the crack itself. These areas here are quite loose. This is actually moving around quite a bit, and even this one moves even more than the previous one. Now, there are quite a few areas like that on this pitch. If the ball hits those areas, it is bound to behave a little bit awkwardly. We haven't seen too many balls misbehave so far in this game, not so many yesterday, but I suspect that today you might see a few more.
Thank you very much, and I should have mentioned that it's Michael's birthday today. Whether he's celebrating tonight or not remains to be seen. England need 173 more runs to win, and we'll pick up play in the 2nd over of the day. Curtly Ambrose is bowling to Mike Atherton.
Atherton back for 2. Well bowled and well played. Walsh to Atherton. That's why Adams is there. It's a terrific piece of field placement by Lara, having the left-handed fielder there. If the ball goes behind square, it goes straight to the fielder. If he plays it in front of square, it's going to Adams' strong side, his left hand.
This was good fielding by Jimmy Adams.
Lovely stroke. That's the best shot of the day. It's no surprise it's been played by Alec Stewart. That runs away to the boundary. Superb piece of timing from Alec Stewart. That's David Lloyd's youngest son, Ben, 13 years of age, talented cricketer himself. Good run.
Graham Morris, one of the freelance photographers there, recording this proud moment for all those lucky girls fortunate enough to be alongside one of the great tabloid journalists of modern times.
Running.
Very well played stroke. And he's coming back for two against a good arm. I think that'll be closer than any of us think it is. He might have just made it, but he's risking the fastest arm on the West Indian side and the youngest and fastest mover too.
Nixon McLean with the throw. It's a very good throw, and I think Michael Atherton is in. He's right. Is Clyde Cumberbatch, the third umpire. He's very quick with his decisions.
Put it down. Brian Lara, the man. Stuart Williams, the man at gully, and one of the safest catches you'll ever see, has missed an opportunity.
Not had a gully for 2 overs, and he's been moved in there round from sort of a staggered third stroke fourth slip to a more conventional gully, wide from Walsh. Atherton right to have a go, and he hit it hard out of the meat of the bat, and it looked to me as though Williams didn't see that. It's going like a shell, and he's put it down.
Not a bad comeback from Walsh. It's depressing for a bowler to have a catch put down and to come back the next ball and bowl a real jaffer is typical of the man. We've got our worst cloud cover really since a couple of days before this test begun. Beautiful stroke. My word, look at the timing in that. That was very special.
It's extra special, I think, because the ball didn't bounce quite as much as Stewart would have liked it to from this length. Just stayed a little bit low.
Be a couple here for Stewart. That also came a little off the bottom of the bat. But they're all good for momentum. That's 4. We'll see a square cut hit too much better. It's not like Walsh to give Stewart room to play his strokes. He has twice, and Stewart has accrued 6 from a couple of short and wide ones.
Ambrose, too late. They pick their man. Currently has had a lot of bowling to do. He's got a long way to get down, and it was very smartly taken, that single. Cracking shot. Ambrose can't get there. That was a superb shot off the front foot. Wasn't a half volley, and well struck by Alec Stewart, who has moved ahead of Mike Atherton. He gave him quite a start at the start of the day.
There's some power gone into that shot. He's hit it straight to the ground, but even so.
That will go for 4. That's his 50, and that also raises England's 100. So yet another half century for Alec Stewart. It's his 3rd in 5 innings in the series, if we count the Sabina Park undefeated 9, and yet another half century for him. England move on to 103 without loss. Very good save. Ambrose cuts it off with his left hand. He had a long way to get down. It was travelling, and what a wonderful return as well. Tremendous effort by the big man. They pick up 2, but it looked like 4. It was really travelling. There's only been 1 previous century partnership in the series in the couple of tests we've had. That was a match winner in the previous test between Carl Hooper and David Williams. They put on 129 when the West Indies looked as if they were down and out. And this is beginning to look very much as if it's going to be a match winner as well for England. Oh, that's well struck. Too short from Hooper. Gave Atherton plenty of room for his favourite shot.
That's a super stroke. Full face of the bat from Stewart. Long chase that is fruitless. They've played very well, these two, and Stewart's starting to find his timing. Oh, yeah.
And all that stroke play has brought the waters from the heavens.
It's not heavy, and it won't disturb the players much. Well, what happened? It ran up the pad, it hit Atherton's glove. Williams was diving around to try to catch it, and Atherton said, "I'm going to kick it away." It is, of course, possible to catch the ball. Drops down, and Williams then whips it out of his pad. He can claim it. It's the rain on the hills are way behind us. That's the ground in there. That's the dangerous rain sort of over our left shoulder. Now, I wonder if Atherton's had a bit of luck there, funnily enough. Adams has been hit again, but that chip stroke was in the air and heading mid-wicket's way. It's a pretty nasty blow for a start. It's in the face. See, it's... Oh. Darryl Hare's moving to have a word with umpire Eddie Nichols. What they'll probably decide to do is to rush off now, get the covers on it and take lunch early. That would make the most sense, I think.
Well, who'd have thought it? Rain stopped play, with England needing 103 more runs to win and all their wickets still standing. That early lunch brought the players back out on time, but with rain still in the air, Carl Hooper is now bowling to Alec Stewart, and 3 runs have been added to the England total.
Stewart's got back for 2. Excellent running by Atherton and Stewart, and England now only need 98.
Well, psychologically, that's a great milestone for the England camp. Well, it certainly looks like we might have a few more little interruptions. That looks to me like quite heavy rain coming in on down the side of the mountains there with the wind. You might see a couple more short little sharp showers, but I think reasonably safe to presume it's not going to rain for 2 days.
There's a big shout for LBW. Darryl Hare again says not out.
It's a big shout, but Mike Atherton's way outside the line of the off stump. And Darryl Hare not interested, quite rightly.
No! Great stop. Stuart Williams again.
That's a good shot. That's an excellent piece of fielding. Keeps Mike Atherton on 49. It's raining a bit heavier now. The rain coming down, the ground staff getting ready.
It looks as though another delay is inevitable. Got him this time. Atherton doesn't wait for the decision. He's on his way. Courtney Walsh has got the breakthrough. Atherton doesn't get that 50. England lose their first wicket. And they still need 96 for victory. But now only 9 wickets left.
Faintest of edges. And Courtney Walsh is delighted. Mike Atherton goes for a very well constructed 49, and England are 129 for 1.
John Crawley's long wait to come in is over. In at first drop for England. This is difficult for Crawley, not knowing whether they're going to stay out there or not.
Yes!
Walsh is very deep and there's a misfield. They can get back for 2. Not looking too good over the scoreboard area. Nice looking stroke. Another misfield. 2 costly misfields for the West Indies in the space of a couple of overs. Courtney Walsh the culprit the first time. This time it's Kenny Benjamin.
It's a little sloppy there. It's a good shot though. It's a little bit of width with this one and a little too full. That's what he's got to wait for. He's got to show patience. I have no doubt he will.
Not bad work from Courtney Walsh there. Courtney Walsh, who isn't supposed to have a throwing arm at all, managed to whip that back in and hit the stumps, and Crawley just had a moment of panic.
Two 200 school children have been let in free today. Have a look at the final day of the test match.
No ball called by Daryl Hare as it thudded into John Crawley's back. It didn't bounce as much as he thought, but I don't think it was necessarily short enough to be ducking. Alex Stewart has 75 now.
He's had a few runs here in the last 15 minutes or so, which really shouldn't have been. The Walsh misfield, the Benjamin misfield, and now Ambrose. I suppose you could excuse him, he's had a lot of work to do and may not have realized that he wasn't being backed up. Well, coming for the second, he missed the stumps on the first occasion, Williams, but it always looked as if it's going to be very dicey here. Taken that ball and hit the stumps the first time. Looks as if it's very, very close. Hooper is in the way there of our replay. Question is if the bat is grounded. The bat's in the air. And that bat's in the air, it looks like, but it's going to be difficult for the third umpire to make a decision. So John Crawley goes run out, and it really was a silly attempt. It would have been much clearer than that had Williams managed to break the stumps with his first swish. The batsman is Nasser Hussain with the dismissal of John Crawley. Took the edge, crept along. Just the pitch beginning, I would say after lunch, to look as if it's playing more tricks. Just every now and again keeping low. Certainly played at its best late yesterday and early today. Oh, my goodness. I think that's what Alex Stewart is saying as well. And it's beginning now to squat.
It's the original unplayable.
No ball. No ball from umpire Eddie Nichols. That was the West Indian voice on the field, off the field. There were a couple of thousand. They were muted for a long time. Now they just sense that things are beginning to happen.
Glorious shot. Well fielded by Kenny Benjamin. Stewart just gets one. And 150 is up for England. 150 for 2. He's dropped him. Hooper has dropped a relative sitter at first slip that leapt at Alex Stewart.
Very awkward bounce, this delivery. But the important thing also is that it was not coming in towards Alex Stewart. Had no control over the shot because of the distances he is away from the ball. Look at that. Look how far away from his body he's playing. But Hooper has floored it. Well, two of the safest hands that we have in the West Indies team, Carl Hooper and Stuart Williams, and they've floored them.
He thinks he's done it. He thinks he's done it. He knows he hasn't. There is no justice. Oh, he's done it now. That is a purling delivery. Walsh has come back and got Stewart. It's a rip-snorting leg cutter, and Stewart has gone. Great resilience from Walsh.
And as you said, the leg cutter, the ball leaving Alex Stewart again. Once you bowl that line, continue to bowl that line, keep the ball going away from him. He's pushing away from his body, he has no control, but that was a brilliant innings by him just the same. He certainly played well for those 83 runs. England now 152 for 3.
Graham Thorpe comes in at number 5 for England, with the nerves jangling.
Kenny Benjamin is the fielder. Nasser Hussain is off the mark, which will be an enormous relief to him. 19 balls to do it. I think we can safely say we're going to be affected by this drizzle at some stage. It's coming from exactly the place the rain came from just before lunch. Mind you, there's not quite a stiffer breeze yet. Well, he eyed up a hit over the top anyway. It's a lovely strike. He's good at that stroke, and it's absolutely right that he should look to play it.
There's absolutely no better way to relieve the pressure than yourselves and your teammates sat in the pavilion than a couple of shots like that.
Oh, that's a lovely stroke. That is a lovely stroke. Made by beautiful footwork.
This ball was over-pitched. Don't see too many of these. I wouldn't call it a full half volley. He's punched that away on the up, but magnificent timing. I think Jimmy Adams is going to have to be a little careful here. It's an appeal. Turns a lot. It's hit the pad. I don't think it's anywhere near the bat. But Jimmy Adams then takes off and starts running at the umpire. I don't think that's quite on.
Oh, nothing you can do about that. Straight along the ground, and literally straight along the ground too. Hussain goes LBW, and there will be more tremors in the England dressing room and delight out in the middle and around the ground from the West Indian supporters.
Well, I just don't think you can play this. I don't think there's any shot in the book that legislates for that. Nasser Hussain knows he's gone. And I have to say I don't think I've ever seen the ball keep that low. Nasser Hussain's gone for 5. That's 168 for 4.
Butcher, the new batsman.
That would be hitting with the spin. Just a couple of minutes till tea now, and I think they've got to make the right decision, and I think Ed Nichols has made the right decision. It's obviously going to rain heavily. Let's get the covers out here and get the players off the field.
There is a lot of water going onto that pitch now. There was an old cricket saying that rain never came to help the batsmen. The West Indies will be delighted to have a minute or so of quite firm drizzle onto the pitch.
They took an early tea, but then the heavens opened and almost 2 hours play was lost. But the game did resume with Walsh bowling to Thorpe.
Beautifully struck through the covers. Ambrose is after it. The outfield will have slowed a bit with the rain. 3 more for England. They need exactly 50 now.
Well, we'll have 4 runs for that one. Short. Wide. And Mark Butcher onto that very quickly.
40 runs required. Nice looking shot. Nixon McLean after it. Good work. Only 2. And the target's down to 38.
Just over pitching, Walsh, just a little bit of width. And that's good positive cricket from Mark Butcher. He's been waiting, he's been penned back on the back leg. Gets one to drive and makes the most of it.
It's gone for the hooks in the air. Hooper's taken it a second slip. Darrell Hare says not out. He clearly saw that it didn't make contact with the glove, and once again the umpires consult about the light. Let's have another look at this one, Ian.
It's banged in, short and straight. And that is an absolutely magnificent decision. There's a fine decision. That's come off the forearm.
And the umpires say that that's enough for today.
And there's the England card. Atherton and Stewart put on 129 for the first wicket, easily the highest partnership of the game. Hussain's delivery was unplayable, and Thorpe and Butcher have calmed the nerves by putting on a gritty 19. West Indies bowling, lion-hearted performances by Walsh and Ambrose, who'll be fresh for a final burst in the morning with the new ball only 5 overs old. And that's what England have to sleep on tonight. 38 more runs to win with 6 wickets in hand. Well, I've given up giving any predictions, but what I can tell you is after all today's torrential rain, the weather forecast for tomorrow at least is good. So join us tomorrow at 2 o'clock on Test Match Special as England try to eke out every run, and I'll be back with highlights of the final day tomorrow evening. Till then, good night from us all.